Okay, so today we're going to be working on how to represent addition and subtraction problems using what? What is this? What's this called? A bar model. Yes, good job. Okay, so there are two different ways that we can represent that addition and subtraction bar model. Okay, let's do the first one. What we can do is we can make a line in the middle of the bar. Okay, this line, what we are going to do is that right here you see that the bar is complete. So this means that the bar has the total amount on top. Okay, so it is a total amount. For me to be able to get the total amount, I need to add all the parts in the bottom of the bar. Okay, if I have a number 1 here, a number 2 here, and another number here, I need to add all of them to have the total amount. Okay, so anytime that you are being asked what is the total amount, you can use this bar model to do an addition. Okay, this is a way to represent an addition. Okay, then what happens if I need to have a subtraction? Right here, what happens is that my question mark is on top. Why? Because this is what I'm looking for. Okay, so what happens if my question mark, instead of being on top, is on one of the bottom part? Okay, how can we know? We have again a total amount, and we have two numbers, number 2, number 1, but we still need to have this number. So how can we solve that? Jessica, how can we solve it? You can subtract, yes. You can subtract this number and this number from the total amount, and you will have the amount that you have left. Correct? Okay, so let's work an example. Okay, let's create a bar. A bar graph. Let's create it. Okay. We are looking for the total amount. Okay, so I have one part where I have 120. I have another part that I have 100, and another one that I have 130. How do I do to get my total amount? You need to do an addition, right? Okay, you need to add this, plus this, plus this, and you will have the total amount. Okay, so now let's flip it. Now, instead of having this, I do have my total amount. My total amount is 300. What do I need to do to find out this amount? You need to subtract. What do you need to subtract? You need to subtract this and this from the total amount. I have a question. What if I add these two together first and then subtract from this? Is it the same answer? What is easier for you, to subtract or to add? What operation is better for you? Which one is easier? ¿Qué piensa que es más fácil? ¿Sumar o restar? Sumar, ¿verdad? So if I add these two together, instead of having two blocks, 2 bars, you will have only one. You will have a bigger bar. Okay, that way you can subtract the total amount. You subtract this part, and then you end up with this small part. Okay, so you understand, right, that if you add these two together, then you can subtract from the whole amount. Instead of doing 2 subtractions, we're just gonna do 1 addition and then 1 subtraction. Okay, it's a 2-step problem. Okay. So now let's look at the problem that we have on the piece of paper. Genesis, can you read it for me?
Jake made 367 dog toys to sell at the school. Confederation. He sold 175 in the morning and 89 in the afternoon. We drew a model to help him figure out how many he still needs to sell. Page numbers and the model to represent Jack's problem.
Use a question mark for the unknown amount. Okay, so let's read the problem more carefully. It says, Jake made 367 dog toys. Okay, so this 367, what does that mean? What is that amount? It is the total amount. Good job, Kennedy. Okay, so we will put this on top. Okay, we put this on top because this means that this is our whole. This is the total amount that we have. Okay, now it says he sold 175. Okay, he sold them. Does that mean that he still has them or not? No, right? They were sold, so they left. He doesn't have them anymore. Do we need to subtract that from the total amount, or do we need to add that to the total amount? We need to subtract because we don't have them anymore. Okay, so it's 175. Okay, and it says that those were sold in the morning and that he sold 89 in the afternoon. Okay, and the last question says, or the question says, how many does he still need to sell them all? Okay, how many does he need to sell? So we still don't know what is the amount that he has left. So for that, we're going to use a question. Okay. So what can we do here? How can we solve this? Subtracting? What do we need to subtract? Okay, so the first thing that we need to know is how many we have sold already. Okay, so if we add these two together, that will tell us the total amount that is already sold. Okay, so let's do 175 plus 89. What is 5 plus 9? 5 plus 9? Come on. No. Okay, go. 9 plus 5? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we have a 4 here, and then what do we do with the 1 in the 10th? We regroup. Okay, so now we have 7 plus 1 plus 8 16. So what do we do with the 1 on the 10th? We change it to the hundreds. Okay, so now 1 plus 1 2. Okay, so we have a total of 264. That is the amount that is already sold. Okay, so we don't have them anymore. Okay, so now what we need to do is from the total amount that is 367, we're going to take away all the toys that were already sold. Okay, so we are going to take away 264.
that's a strategy that I'm teaching you for you to use on the test and not for you to use when you're with me. Do we understand? So, Valeria, can you tell them what are some keywords that you highlighted?
Okay. So now, what do we need to do? Just to go ahead and make the subtraction.
That's very important.
So what is 7 minus 4?
You guys said
7 minus 4.
you rock. Okay?
You have 7. You have 7. You're going to take away 4. How many do you have left? 3.
Okay? Go ahead and get your
6 minus 6?
Minus
6 minus 6? 0. You don't have anything left. Okay? And 3 minus 2? 1. Okay, so this is giving us the amount that still needs to be sold. Okay, so he still has 103 toys left in the store. Alright? See, so it is very important for us to understand how we can use these models when we are doing addition and subtraction. Okay, when we are trying to look for the total amount, what are we going to do? We're going to add. When we are looking for one part of the whole, then we're going to subtract. Okay, remember that sometimes we need to do 2 steps. First add, then subtract, because that will help us in doing easier operations. Okay, because if I subtract 2 times, it's harder than if I add and then subtract. Okay? So you have any questions? Are you ready for the next problem? Yeah? Okay. Let's move on next. Okay, so let's move on to the next page. Okay, let's focus on number 1. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's read the problem. It says, Owen's elementary went on a field trip to the zoo. There were 3 buses of 3rd graders. Okay, 3 buses. So let's do our bar model. And I know that there were 3 buses, so I'm gonna divide this bar in the bottom into 3 bars. Okay. Then it says, one bus took 54 students. The second bus took 46 students. And a 3rd bus took 52 students. Now it says, which number sentence could be used to find how many students were on all the 3 buses? Okay, so we are looking for the total amount. Okay. Here, the question is not asking us for the result. The question is it's asking us for what number sentence we need to use. What that means is they are asking us for what operations need to be made to get to the answer. Okay, so what do we need to do here? We need to subtract. We are looking for the total amount. So what do you need to do? You need to add. You need to put the 3 buses together. Okay? So what is the number sentence that we are looking for? Okay? We take out the first number, that is 54. Then we are going to add, because we want to join together the kids from the second bus. So we add the second bus, and then we add the 3rd bus. And that will give us the total amount. That is what we are looking for. Okay, so now what you do, you go to your answer options that we have, and you're going to look for the one that matches your answer here. Okay, the first one is 54 plus 46 plus 52. Option B is 54 minus 46 minus 52. 54 minus 46 plus 52. Or 54 minus 46 plus 52 again. Which one do you think is the correct answer?
A.
A, right? Because it matches this number sentence that we have in here.
Okay, Anthony, your eyes.
So you're going to select option A. Do you agree? No. Okay, so go ahead on your own and complete the number one on the shaded part. It's a similar problem, so you shouldn't have any problem. Okay, go ahead.